Hello and welcome back to the 8th video for topic 3 networks. Here we're going to explain why the speed of data transmission across a network can vary. And this, remember, is for the IB Diploma in Computer Science. So yeah, we're still doing the core units and we're on topic 3. And we're about halfway through, we're on data transmission, and here we are. Okay, objectives. We need to understand the factors that affect data transmission speeds across different types of networks. We need to learn how network traffic, connection types, and other factors impact the speed of data transfer. The speed at which data is transmitted across a network can vary for many reasons. This video will explore the primary and secondary factors that influence data transmission speeds, helping you understand why your internet or network connections might be fast at one moment and then slow down at the next. Okay, so let's get started. So let's have a little look at connection speeds. Dedicated LAN connections. If we're using copper cable, we're looking at 100 Mbps. Well, what does that mean? It's megabits per second. Okay, Gbps is gigabits per second. So fiber optic cable, for example, is running anywhere between 5 and 100 gigabits per second. Wi-Fi, 100 to 150 megabits per second. Whereas on a wide area network, broadband connections, DSL 2 to 16 megabits per second, fiber optic 20 to 100 megabits per second, 3G around 1 megabit per second, and 4G around 20 megabits per second. Okay, so there are average connection speeds. But what we need to remember is, when discussing network speeds, we're not just talking about the internet. Network speed also includes local transfers, like Wi-Fi in an office or accessing files on a school network. I just wanted to touch upon, we're not just talking about the internet here. When we talk about network speeds, it's not just about how fast the internet is. This is about how data moves and the speed it moves across any network, like the Wi-Fi at school or a shared storage system at work. Network speed can slow down when lots of people are using it at the same time. The more devices connected, the slower everything potentially would become. Something called a bottleneck, and you've seen this, it looks a little bit like, this is just a representation, looks a little bit like an hourglass that's been tipped on its side. A bottleneck is like a traffic jam on the network. It happens when too much data is trying to get through at once. Okay, this causes delays. This can be because there's too many devices, as we just mentioned. If lots of people are online at the same time, it can slow everything down. Old equipment. If the network is using outdated hardware, it might not be able to keep up with the data flow. And distance and interference. The further data has to travel, or if there's interference, like walls or bad weather, the slower it gets. So, primary concept, traffic. Network traffic. The more data that is being transferred over a network at any given time, the slower the connection will be. For example, if many people are streaming videos at the same time, the network might slow down due to high traffic. Okay, as you see here, everybody's gone home and watching Netflix at a certain point. You can imagine during the day, the majority of people might be at work, in an office, whereas they come home at night, 5, 6 o'clock, and turn on the TV, turn on Netflix. You're going to get a lot more traffic at particular times. We've got infrastructure, see here. Old cabling in place. The quality and type of network infrastructure, i.e. the cables, the routers, etc., also affect the speed. Older or cheaper equipment might not support higher speeds. Distance. The further the data has to travel, the slower it might become. For example, accessing a server on the other side of the world may take longer than accessing one that's quite close, that's nearby. The time of day, I've just mentioned this, network speeds can vary depending on the time of the day, certainly in certain countries. On the same time zone. During peak hours, like evenings, more people are online, which can slow down your connection. We have environmental issues, temperature, physical obstructions, and interference from other devices can also slow down data transmission. If we've got heavy snowfall, snow on the lines, for example, here, this could slow or cause us problems. Financial limitations, using cheaper low-quality equipment might result in slower network speeds. And also types of data, large files or streaming data requires more bandwidth and can slow down the network. So in conclusion, the speed of data transmission across a network can vary due to many factors. The amount of traffic on the network, the time of day, the distance data needs to travel, and the quality of the infrastructure all play a role. Environmental conditions and the type of data being transmitted also affects the speed. If you understand these factors, this can help you explain why network speeds are not always consistent. As always, we've got 3 questions. Question 1, define the term network traffic and explain its impact on data transmission speeds, 2 marks. Question 2, describe how the distance between devices affects data transmission speeds across a network, for 3 marks. And finally, explain how environmental issues can cause variability in network speed and provide an example. This is for 4 marks. Okay, if you want to pause the video, have a little go, otherwise I'm going to show you the answers. So, question 1. Network traffic refers to the amount of data being transmitted over a network at any given time. High network traffic can slow down the data transmission speeds because the network is handling more data than it can process efficiently. Question 2. The further the data has to travel, the slower the transmission speed may be. This is because data must pass through more routers and switches, increasing the chance of delay or loss, particularly in long-distance connections. And then finally, environmental issues like temperature, interference from other electrical devices, and physical obstructions can slow down data network speeds. For example, Wi-Fi signals may be weakened by thick walls, causing slower data transmission between devices in different rooms. Okay, that is it for this video. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I will see you next time for video 9. Until then, bye for now. Thank you. Please continue to ask questions, leave your comments, hit notifications, and please subscribe. And finally, if you wish to buy me a coffee, I'd be truly grateful. Please visit buymeacoffee.com/learning zone. Thank you very much indeed. See you next time. Bye for now.